Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of Fabi and Shooter cut out their Foreskin reviews. Oh god, I know you missed this series. Let's be serious. And today we're gonna review the third comic from the first season, overall the third comic from the entire comic series, called The Horde That Lives 2 Kilometers Away From Us. Yeah, what a strange title, but typical again, as I said in earlier comics. Some of those titles or jokes or whatever are typical for earlier festivals, okay? And yeah, this is again something typical for the old FASCOTF. And what can I say? It's pretty much similar to the first two. Again, it's a pretty fucked up comic if you think about this, because today we're gonna victimize a person, a real person, just like Vlad. But I might actually say that this is much terrible if you think twice. But first, let's talk about the plot. The plot is simple. It starts with a shooter staying on his tablet looking for some, on Facebook looking for memes or whatever. Until at some point, uh, a statement comes over his newsfeed saying that there's a war that it's close to you, and no, it's not a lie, it's not a Pornhub thing. And yeah, everybody is interested except Georgia, because Georgia, of course, respects women. And yeah, Shooter, Fabi, and the boys are okay interested in this, right? Okay, so then they go on the place where she said they are, with thanks to the GPS. And at some point they're waiting, and at some point the girl comes from the bushes, comes up, and it scares the shit out of them. What can I say? Everybody's scared. Everybody except Shooter, because he has a plan. He has one of his toes weird ass plans, and of course everybody's going home where Shooter is taking care of her. While they're at home, Bobby sees the something new on Pornhub. Okay, don't ask what Fabi was doing on Pornhub. Okay, I swear I wasn't watching porn. Okay, I was masturbating in porn. But you get a point. And then at some point, randomly, he sees a porn movie in which an image shooter appears in. So yeah, pretty much a twist of a comic. But again, the story is really typical to the old fast code. That's all I can say. Not much is really happening in this comic, except for the fact that they're going for that whore to see what the hell is going on, and they want to fuck her and all that shit. Well, except Georgia. But again, it's just pretty much like the earlier comics. The first three, again, until the fourth comic, when actually some interesting stuff happened in the plot. The first three are more based around a single joke. There's not a main story or something you could say. So yeah, basically it's just centered on a joke, but it still has a story compared to the first comic. And hell, you could say that there's something more interesting about this story compared to Vlad eats his breakfast. But okay, moving on, the story is, again, how it is weird, simple, but hey, it's old Pasco. Let's talk about the characters. The characters in this comic are Fabi, Shooter, and for the first time, Yuan, which I think I told you in the previous comic about his cousin Florine that just appeared in a single comic. And Yuan, it's his cousin. I was a really great friend with Yuan before. Holy shit, I remember how much stuff I did with him. He was pretty much a typical. I'm not talking about his real life counterpart, I'm talking about him in the comics. He was kind of a edgy kid, but he was not really that edgy as Stefan, like an angsty teen. He just loved dark things like that goth type of kid. And that was kind of interesting, not gonna lie. But somewhere after the first season, or pretty much, I think season two was already started. I think Yuan told me that he doesn't want to be a part of it anymore, and yeah, he pretty much didn't appear at all in second season, the actual season that is happening at this moment right now. But I'm telling you, at the beginning of the season, like the first few comics, he still was a member of the crew. But he left somewhere in January, like middle January, when school started, like after vacation. But he will be again this, and I talked with him again once in March or something because he blocked me afterward because why not? And we talked about this, and I said, dude, do you want to come back to Fast? Come on, man, everything's better. We pretty much evolved. He still didn't want to, and guess what? After a few weeks, he blocked me again. Last time I talked with him was in summer. I don't remember when it was, but it was this summer, and we were talking about our life personally. Like he's not using the internet that much as he used to in the past year, and yeah, he pretty much changed now. But yeah. So yeah, you could see that I've talked 2 or 3 minutes only about Yuan. He was really special to me, and even to Fast, he could have been as big as me, Shooter, Georgia, Andrea, and hell, even instead of Stefani could have been there. He was a really important in the first season, especially. And you could see this. We will see later. And again, it was me, Fabi, Shooter. Me is Fabi, okay? Shooter and Yuan. And it was also Theodore, which you know the guy that is a meme-tastic guy, and it was mostly shown as same for me. Yeah, he's still in the comics series. I'm okay with him personally. And another character that was removed in the future, pretty much not even after the first season, she wasn't there anymore. Like in the middle of the season, I remember it. But I was thinking to have her again, but I removed her. Unlike Yuan, which left, I removed her due to a lot of reasons. And it was, of course, Bianca. When the comic series was actually pretty interesting that our whore was actually our friend. And yeah, there's an interesting story between her and Shooter. Bianca actually didn't disappear, ran away. I'm saying this because Shooter actually murdered her in the Christmas special. But I'm gonna talk about more details in that comic. It's pretty interesting, by the way. I made this story inspired by the if you remember, it was that crazy evil guy who killed her girlfriend, but it's inspired by that. And I thought, hey, that will pretty much make sense. So yeah, guys, I'll talk about her story, why did she disappear in the Christmas special. Because that was the last comic in which she appeared physically in, not cameos or something. And I talked about the characters, a good character development, what can I say, but nothing really special like the later comics. How about the art style? The art style is really similar to the second comic, like no offense, but hey, there have been some upgrades. Like you could see that try making their bodies pretty much equally and not that stupid art. So you could see that actually the characters started to, like me and Shooter, started to have their actual modern look as they incorporated it later. But still not really differences. I might say that the art style got better like at the end of the season. The art style wasn't really that great during this season, honestly. It wasn't like Japanese Niggers, the last comic. But I'm gonna talk about this later. So yeah, I reviewed pretty much everything, the plot, but I talked about the plot, so we don't include that one, just like in the previous comic. I didn't talk about a plot in the first comic because there wasn't any plot at all, just a stupid, silly joke. And again, even Vlad Eats His Breakfast has some story in it. So I talked about a plot first, but that doesn't count in. Story was, I've talked about it. Characters and art. Did I miss something? Nope, I did not. So guys, my final rating for this comic is 4 out of 10, of course. Simply because it still was funny, but not really interesting like the later comics. You couldn't really expect that much from this one, but still, I still recommend it to you. It's worth a watch. And yeah, it was good overall, not gonna lie. Well guys, thank you for watching this video, but I'm telling you, the next episode will be much more interesting. I told you in the previous episodes that the first 3 comics were not really special. So yeah, starting with the next comic, the Christmas, FASCOTF Christmas Special 2018, FASCOTF changed, FASCOTF became the way it is today. So you could expect more from that comic. Alright guys, this episode was pretty long, but the next one will be longer again. But I'll see you guys in the next episode. Stay tuned. FASCOTF Christmas Special 2018. I was Niba Hiba, and bye bye. FASCOTF is good. Fuck you if you don't.